Well, when it comes to vehicles, nothing on the roads has quite the presence of a supercar. But with higher taxes and loan curbs, there is a cloud over the future of high-performance cars in Singapore. Dawn Tan went to find out just how much curb appeal supercars still have.
They go way too fast and are far too loud.
And you know you'd love to drive one. Supercar manufacturers just keep pushing how fast these cars can go, and speeds and prices for them have continued to rise.
It was in the 1960s when speeds began to take off in Singapore with the Porsche 911. In the 80s, the Lamborghini Countach with its futuristic scissor doors sparked imaginations. 1992 saw the McLaren F1 bring a touch of Formula One magic to the streets, only to be blown out of the water by the Bugatti Veyron in 2010. With its left-hand drive setup, you could buy one, but you can't legally drive one in Singapore. But the future isn't looking rosy for supercar ownership in Singapore, and showrooms have been largely silent. A rigorous 2013 tax regime and car loan curbs mean an increasingly tough market for niche cars, and it's left some dealers reeling.
Well, you can imagine the dealers were pretty shocked by the move. It's really devastated that pool of buyers. Of course, you did have some who were left standing, and they may have been put off by what the dealerships call sticker shock. So that's a sudden jump in the sticker price and the kind of thing that sort of shocks you into inaction for a while.
The slide in numbers speak for themselves. In just the last 2 years, new registrations for supercars has plunged more than 60% for the top supercar marques.
Dealers usually tend to be at the mercy of the factories that they buy the cars from. So many of them are hoping that something will come along that really does ignite everyone's sort of passion and gets the juices flowing. When a car brand kind of casts its net a little bit further, it does help with the sales. On the other hand, I think behind the scenes, it looks as if some car dealers have been pleading with the factories for lower ex-factory prices so that the impact of the tax rises will be kind of diminished. Apart from that, though, there really isn't much they can do.
For die-hard supercar enthusiasts, little can keep them from indulging in their preferred marvel of engineering. Lamborghini Car Club Singapore's list of members reads like a who's who of some of Singapore's most successful entrepreneurs and industry players who well know the value of their hard-earned cash.
Every Lamborghini buyer is paying indirect income tax. A top-end car, the buyer is paying almost $1 million in taxes. So there's a lot of very high cost in ownership in Singapore.
For club members, supercar ownership means putting their cars to good use. They've raised over $250,000 for community causes in 2014 alone. For these mega wealthy individuals, their mantra, work hard, but play harder.
Society is getting more and more mature, and people are willing to accept and they are not jealous of people who drive Lamborghini. When we drive out in a convoy, we do a track of a lot of on-local. They bring their kids out, they go out and follow the convoy. In fact, they are very considerate because a lot of them, when they post it on the Facebook, they blank out our license plate.
For supercar drivers, getting behind the wheel of a high-end car often inspires more than just admiring looks.
I want to be like uncle, successful. So we tell them, then you have to study hard. You have to work hard. And then you work hard, you enjoy the success you eventually achieve.
And while you're mulling your pricey supercar dream, there's always the joyride. Sean Lowe started Dream Drive last year, a business that rents out supercars, and demand has been robust.
Now this Lamborghini Gallardo Spider has gone out on average 5 times a day since business first started last year.
So is it just a speed bump for supercar ownership in Singapore? or the end of the road for high-powered horsepower.
You have to think of supercars as being sort of slightly different from normal cars. It might be helpful to think of a supercar as something like a horse. Now, we used to use horses to get around, but now some people kind of like to ride horses for fun. Take them out on weekends or go to the riding club, whatever it is. That's what your supercar is like, and I think there will always be room for that sort of car on our roads.
Well, there you go. Now you know why Dawn isn't here tonight. No, I'm kidding. You've been watching Singapore Tonight. Find us online at Facebook and Twitter as well. Thanks so much for your company. Good night.